It's showtime.
Okay.
Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. My name is Kix, and joining me is Rapid. And we're just about to move into the third game between NetWars and aSh now. If you're watching the VOD and you're wondering where is game 2, so Radley did take that game. I'm almost 100% certain. Here is when I check, and it turns out he didn't. But luckily enough, I can go back in time now. I added an undo button to my overlay, so if I press the wrong button, it doesn't matter now. It is all good, so...
Congratulations, Kix. Your life is now no longer over every time somebody race picks.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing as well. But let's actually quickly... I'm just going to reload the overlay just to confirm what players are going to be playing, because I think we may have had... Let me double check. Yeah, I think we may have had a substitution here for aSh. Now, I did say a little bit earlier that aSh are having a few problems with players turning up and things, so unfortunately they've not had the best of rounds so far, but they do have a pretty solid roster now. Of course, Hit 'em Up doing a very good job in our last game. So it's going to be cool to see exactly how they're going to do in this game. I'm just quickly filling in all the numbers just to fix this. But just while I do that, now I've actually sorted everything, let's head on over to the overlay and let's see who is going to be playing versus who. And it actually looks like both teams had a substitution, so not too bad. But let's move on over to the overlay and let's see who our players are. And you're in for a treat. And the reason why I say you're in for a treat is we are going to see the top ranked player from the STPL fighting once again for NetWars. He actually stepped in for Bonneth. He wasn't planning on playing this week. But here he is in... okay, so in the left-hand side of your screen, obviously, he's 4 for 0 this round so far. He is 7 for 2 last round. That puts him, obviously, at 11 for 2, top of the table in the SCPL. And he is a very, very strong Protoss player. He's only played one PvP so far, which he did win. PvZ even. But here we go. He's going to be up against one of aSh's mainstays. It's going to be jOjO. jOjO, obviously a Zerg player. He has played against 2 Protoss players so far, gone 1 for 1. But he is currently 1 for 0 in this round. And they're going to be playing on Troy.
That's right, Troy, a Protoss player on Troy, say what? But it's going to look different than our earlier PvPs. Getting a chance to see Yeti is always a treat. He's just so good. So jOjO's going to have his hands full. Obviously, if it was DeWalt, you still have your hands full. But anyway, Yeti, super good. And I'm excited to see if NetWars can pull ahead and take a lead in this series.
Yep, and just to quickly answer one of the questions, Faint by Linkin Park was used in one of the OSLs. I can't remember which one, but they cut up the song a little bit differently to the way I did. I just played the song. So either way, let's head on to our game. It's going to be a PvZ. It's NetWars Yeti versus aSh's jOjO. And let's get started here with our second game of the series, which is set 3 on Troy. And starting us off here in the top right-hand position is going to be the White Protoss fighting for NetWars. Currently 1-1 in the series. It's going to be Yeti.
And his opponent in the other location, bottom right-hand corner in the teal, this is aSh's jOjO.
Right, okay, so it's going to be apparently a PvP, so I guess jOjO did race pick, so if you give me 1 second, I will fix that in the overlay. I don't need to reload absolutely everything, which is perfect for me because that killed my overlay so many times. But here we go, we now have jOjO as a Protoss player, life is good, and it's going to be another PvP on Troy.
Yeah, I really do enjoy as many PvPs on this map as possible. I was like, hey, it's not a PvP, and then we load it and it's a PvP. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be... So ideally, I guess you want to do some version of a forward 2-gate or some version of a 2-gate, I guess, because you have to just defend your assimilators at all costs. And, you can't really tech to Dragoons because Zealot Rush will kill your assimilators, and then your Dragoons are pretty useless after that unless you want to, tech to shuttle and ferry them out, and nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, that's definitely hard to do, but it's certainly not undoable. We did see a PvP where that did happen. One of the
Yeah.
players ended up having to go for a Shotland Reavers. I believe they eventually won the game, but it's been a while since we casted that one, so kind of hard to remember. It looks like we're going to have a 2-gate coming in for jOjO, and a 2-gate coming in for Yeti as well, so both of them mirror builds.
Right, you are. Kicks mirrored build again. Wow, I'm so surprised. No, I'm not really surprised at all. But it is going to be cool to see the execution here. I would say that every time you get a little bit of something different. In our previous PvP on Troy, we saw the forward gateways be built at the natural expansion and then push across the map. But these are both in-base 2 gates, so neither player really looking to stake their claim on their natural just yet. And of course, in PvPs, natural expansions are just kind of hard to get, so it's nice to see things proceeding accordingly.
Yep, now it's going to be interesting to see how different, even though it is 2-gate versus 2-gate, we don't actually have Zealots coming in immediately for jOjO, so we're going to see Yeti with a quicker Zealot here, going to make it a little bit harder. He's actually got his second Zealot coming out already. Meanwhile, jOjO did get his Gateway slightly later. He's going to get 2 popping out at the same time. He is, of course, going to have that defender's advantage, as we did see in Telecom versus Future in the previous series. But are we going to see jOjO be able to transition this into some kind of economic lead, or are we going to see Yeti with the advantage, as he does currently have 2 Zealots against 1?
2-on-1, huh? That's not great odds. Of course, it's going to be unevened again as 2 more come across the map, and then we're just going to see a little bit of like unit spawners just sending Zealots across the map over and over and over again. But so this is the first phase of the game, right? You want to build Zealots, you want to be strong, and then you want to tech and transition to something else. So you can go a couple of different directions. You can go to Dragoons. You can like
I'm not sure
fast
about
tech
this.
to DTs. I don't know.
He's going to save his Zealot, it looks like, but if he does get caught on that cliff, he could be in trouble. It looks like Yeti gonna pull away, doesn't want to overextend. He's not entirely sure what's going on. He finally gets another probe in. But it looks like we're going to have jOjO going for that pylon as natural. So he is going to look to take a forward position in his base here and be a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, I always enjoy seeing defensive Protoss play. I think that it's really cool to see them kind of fend off different ways of trying to break their base. In PvP, usually there is an aggressive player and a defensive player. Somebody going DT tech and trying to push that and make that work, or somebody going 3-gate and trying to be aggressive and overwhelm their opponent. But this is just back and forth Zealot wars, and I think jOjO should be okay as long as oh no, he tragically fights with 2 Zealots before the rest of his come up, and this gives Yeti a huge advantage.
But there we go, the Yeti, not the Yeti, the advantage actually turning back in jOjO's favor. He does manage to trap one of the Zealots, and we see Yeti as the one pulling back now.
Man, right as I say Yeti gets a huge advantage because he got off those early Zealot hits,
it's the caster
curse. 2 Zealots in. Yeah, he runs 2 Zealots in and they get surrounded instantly and die. So that did not go according to plan.
This is a questionable decision. It looks like jOjO wants to push in against Yeti. He does have the Zealot advantage, but there is 2 Dragoons here. And it looks like jOjO, unfortunately, going to lose all of his Zealots. And now he's going to have a lot of trouble. He's up against 3 gateways. He's scouted that now, though. He does have a cannon, actually. He's going to build a second one as well. He's going to need to get those up very, very quickly. And are they going to finish in time? We do have a pylon blocking his Nexus, so this is going to be extra cannon money here for jOjO.
Yeah, the cannon blocking the Nexus is not totally tragic because he knows he desperately needs to hang on. So he spent all of his Nexus money on cannons, and it's going to kill the pylon off. The pylon does get taken down, so it's not going to worry anymore. Maybe you cancel a couple of cannons, but you know you are about to get, or there's theoretically an attempt that could bust you. So all these idle probes might look kind of weird, but they're definitely necessary to avoid just getting run over.
Yeah, now this is the sort of moment where you need to start sending a probe off to scout again. He is going to send his probes back to mine, so at least they're going to start getting some minerals, start being useful for jOjO again. You can see the 3 gateways really come into effect, and the lack of mining time there, as Yeti is now nearly 20 supply ahead over his opponent. He's ahead in tech as well. Going to be a robo for him. There was a lot of money spent on cannons that wasn't spent on tech, wasn't spent on units, and wasn't spent on gateways. But of course jOjO is going to be able to hold for now, and he is getting a very, very quick Nexus compared to his... Oh wow, the Nexus are actually even.
Yeah, Yeti actually, I thought he was going to, or even jOjO thought Yeti was going to continue being aggressive, but he backed up and expanded behind this. So yeah, Nexi on the way on both sides. Observatory actually coming in for Yeti, so he is playing this one very carefully. But on the other side, 2 more gates being added on by jOjO.
Yeah, these 2 gates going to be a pretty big deal, but of course Yeti does have the advantage with the units, and unfortunately jOjO's cannon placement not the best, so those ranged Dragoons are going to be able to take down one of those. He is going to be in a prime position to take down this gas as well. But it looks like jOjO in a little bit of trouble here. He's trying to add more and more cannons, but once again that's going to delay his tech.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be very good defensively, but he's actually not using the cannons maybe as well as he should. He's trying to buy time for them to come up, but I think actually, wow, he's doing a good job defending. So the cannons will come up, maybe not the forward one, but no matter how many Dragoons come in here, I mean, this should be able to be... Oh wow, I actually didn't realize how few units jOjO had. He actually just has nothing.
Yeah, wow, the probe's actually assassinating one of the Dragoons there, but that's a lot of lost mining time again. This front cannon not going to do anything, and I think this may be the nail in the coffin by Yeti. Yeti doing an incredibly good job pushing in, showing his great PvP micro once again as well, and he's just going to bypass the cannons. And this is the problem with going for so many cannons. He's going to lose his Nexus, cannons not in position to defend it, and that's going to give Yeti an unassailable lead, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 gates to 3, right? With the 4th gate just about halfway on the way. But I feel like the timing on adding on those 2 extra gates is just a little bit too slow. Yet he had the economy, he had the extra gateway up faster, and this is just what happens when you just are able to outproduce your opponent in PvP. You got identical units, and if you have more of them, then you're gonna be in a good place.
Yeah, that is one of the other problems of building so many cannons. He almost felt like he was forced to, wasn't sure what his opponent was doing, and this is really the result of that. He lost about 4 or 5 cannons. That's a lot of units and minerals there. I almost tried to do maths and then thought better of it, but still, I mean, a great job by Yeti so far, just showing why he's the #1 spot in the entire STPL right now. One thing I will do as well, just before the end of all of this, I'm going to actually regenerate the overlay and just show you Yeti's current PvP win rate, because it's very high, like very high.
As it should be. He is very good in this matchup, and he's doing a great job kind of controlling the situation right now, not getting overzealous. One thing that you can just die to a lot as Protoss is trying to aggressively try to end the game with Dragoons, because they really do not want to. They're more happy in their natural environment, which is totally glitched out around everything. So he does pull back. He's like, hey, I have the natural. All I have to do is defend this. And indeed he does. And that's going to mean that jOjO has one last-ditch effort to try to come back in this game. And if you look at the supply, it is just not going to go so well.
Yeah, this is one of those moments. Scan once told me if you're behind, you need to go all in or play very greedy. And jOjO's going to try and go all in. I don't think he has the units. He doesn't even have the high ground. A lot of these shots missing for his Dragoons, and this is going to be all of jOjO's army going down. And
that is it. GG. jOjO taps out, and Yeti takes another win for his team. This is just incredible. He's been absolutely the mainstay of Net Wars at this point. An incredible roster, way up there. I think in #1 spot on the standings, and just killing it.
Yeah, now just to report that game, Yeti of course does get that. I'm just going to quickly bring up the player table again. It's going to be missing one of the wins just because I don't want to regenerate everything, but here we go. Let's move. Well, you know what, I can. This is in my power now. It's all good. There's no null pointer exceptions anymore, but let's quickly regenerate this. Yeah, because, I mean, his win rate is absolutely insane right now, and just to show this off, this is his position right now. He is currently 6-2 now against Protoss, and he's actually 13... Wait, is it 13 or 11 for 2? Let's actually just have a quick look. He's 12 for 2 against his opponents now, so he is in an incredible position, but that's going to take us into our 4th game of the series, so I'm going to bring up the intro, and we'll be back in just over a minute. See you guys very soon.